Okay, good morning, guys. We're taking you guys along today on a pretty average day for me, and kind of wanted to show you guys what I do on a daily basis. So we're heading south right now. We're in Ohio. We're going to be wrapping up a job. So I started marking this piece of timber last week. We got just a little bit to do this morning, wrapping that up. From there, we're going to be actually looking at a property I'm looking at buying potentially. I want to walk that, and then from there we're going on down and looking at two new properties for two different clients, and we're going to see, if we recommend a harvest or if it's going to be better off leaving it. So I'm kind of excited about that. They're all down in the same area, so that's always nice. It is 10 degrees, so it's pretty cold. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough day, but we'll make it. Yeah, just tag along and see how it goes. Okay, we're finally at our first stop. Basically, we have this project on Jeremy's property from the Hunter podcast, and we were discussing, last time about the food plot program and what we're planning to do on this property. That being said, after we walked it with the guys that are doing the food plot project, there's a few trees that need to be taken out. So we're gonna go up and quick mark those trees for them guys. That way those trees can get harvested and cleared out of the way. That way they can clear the area out. So let's run up the hill and go quick mark those trees. So we're up here, and this is the location of the plot. When we initially marked this timber, we weren't thinking there was gonna be a food plot in here. So we did it fairly selectively. So there's quite a few oaks going back this little flat spot that are usable for lumber. So we're going to take those out. We're going to mark those trees, get a calculation on board feet. That way the mill can reimburse Jeremy then for the extra trees we're taking off due to this food plot being put in. So I'm going to go through. Another thing we're looking at is, south facing, which is down that direction. We're getting a lot of your sunlight for the plot. Want to make sure that all the trees are cut on that side, letting a maximum amount of light in to these smaller clover plots. So I'm just going to go and mark some of these trees here. So on this scenario here, basically there's going to be a larger destination plot up on top of the ridge here, probably 1.5 acres, 2 acres. And then in here is just a nice little kill plot. It's going to be probably clover or rye. And like I said earlier, we basically decided after the fact, after I'd gone through and marked the timber, that this is going to be a food plot. So initially when I walked this and marked this, it was pretty selectively. But there's quite a few trees in here that need to be removed now to put this plot in. With that being said, some of them are usable for lumber. So I went through and basically marked anything that's actually usable, basically 14 inches chest high and bigger. And also I'm looking, we have south over here. Anything, even if it's not going to be in the plot exactly, I want to take some of those trees along that south edge, letting more light into this plot. So I can kind of go through, mark all the trees, then the crew will come in, take these trees out, and it's way less work then for the company that's going to be doing the food plots. In this particular scenario, the amount of time and effort it takes to get these stumps out, they're going to be leaving the stumps in the plot of the bigger trees, but that really won't affect a whole lot when it comes to clover or rye, something like that. That's not hard to maintain. So yeah, I think we're good to go, and we're going to head back and go on to the next thing. Okay, so we are here at the second stop of the day. Was looking at this property to purchase it. Waiting on the realtor currently. This is 78 acres. It's got a good chunk of pasture ground on it, which I like. It's, it gives you some versatility, a little bit of room to manipulate some of the things, and then a good chunk of timber, and I like the way the topography lays on it as far as potential for bedding, access. And so we're going to be basically walking this property here in a few minutes, checking out the potential of timber, what's there, and some of the other things as well. Just looking forward to seeing what this property looks like. So we'll take a walk at that. After that, we're going to go stop in, talk to a few new potential clients, look at their properties, see if it makes sense to do a project on theirs. So The realtor should be here in a few minutes. John Madison.
Nice to meet you.
Very good. So basically, I just wanted to take a run back through, see what you got, and kind of go from there. Obviously, I want to look at your neighbors as well. Then he's not going to be here, but
yeah,
we'll see what he has.
Last night.
Yeah. So basically, when I do this initial look, walk through, or if we're taking the side by side, however, it doesn't have to be like we're sitting there looking at every corner of the woods. I just want to drive through, get a good feel for what you had, and that kind of helps me. I'm looking at. First of all, what your thoughts are as far as the project, what you're wanting to do, but also how many board feet I think per acre there's going to be. That gives me an average, and I can kind of based off the species and quality give you a rough estimate of what I think is there. This would be probably a 20-inch tree. A white oak like this you would want to leave. That one looks pretty healthy yet. Okay. It's stunted a little bit from growth because of the bigger red oak above it. You take that red oak out and it suddenly gives it a lot more room to grow.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
The tank. I think that one there would just stay there. Those big bushy trees like that, there's not a lot of board feet in them where they're really worth cutting.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to walk this back corner. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot in there. Looks like the majority of the timber's can be from here on over. So, yeah, let's just keep walking up around. So that one back there right along the path, that one leans out over, that one's big enough. Something like this, there's not really any value in. And I want to see what Mark's looks like and see, we could maybe put them together and make it a little bit more worth people's time. Okay. So, okay, very good. Well, it was good meeting you. Appreciate you letting me walk the property. And like I said, I'll let you know. We'll kind of go from there, and if hopefully it makes sense to do. So, very good.
Alrighty.
Okay, we're gonna keep rolling. That's a full day for me. We basically stopped in, had to do mark a few trees for a food plot. We looked at a property to potentially purchase, and then we also looked at several clients' properties about potentially doing a harvest. Ended up I don't think I'm going to advise them to do that on these two, but that's a pretty typical day for me, looking at a lot of properties on a daily basis, and that helps you quickly figure out what's what. I was talking to my cameraman, and he's pretty new at the whole timber space, and even after today, he's like, he walks into this last property, he's like, he can instantly tell that there's not really any timber here to be harvested after looking at a few that are. So it just kind of comes with seeing a lot of properties and being able to, for myself, having hunted a lot of properties on the back end of a harvest, being able to see what the results are going to be long term. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's gonna be more to come, and we'll see you in the next one.